meandros is efficiana candros is venin, dosis is aretos sendranjon ruketest. Ian ovaset ishara convexest orufpan erici churdonaram. Iamarokiati shangu kukrases evision edanes osetasos esfericum wreckage areg. Caution dai lalotsen redamrup kin karuku sharakumak. Kosendaish alfrunes is ibiru jambu fukurukun. Gitarek dainjun yarim biotruses of a corchin yaringis. Caution jal evistap uramakon ish ram. Iama tuto shandafir rakitokun ejanametos is damza aragot ishkarakotesim. Gidai sharikun rekases ish a sotososo urosham zebishan. Ianoto sharikum akotoso uruj. Yamarajan, I'm just waiting for the data to settle. I feel it coming. That's why I'm recording. I have the forewarning of it. Iama support jambal frukate shadikram biatrusha sanari testos inzavari chandre kuvaki kia charise sambara choto sendre sisivishan enemy aramboto sondrun kite sharise frusamba kokoro kochanen iaretestos ifrashasa cruz estavan imal etiatrus sesivish a surus sotangela aram. In vast understandings, we say to you that if Russia acquiesces within the next 5 days, we shall end all activities within 4822-383 and 77484. Goy'EA chal elakalaklum ekteum. Iama shale fle edivision Estarh'Van elevrasus estasus ekram. Gash arif biur kun est ebi fum ash arestes orib in alich rom. Iama sotenshan ekrases ostavan image understand if they reduce all activities from their arrays within several points of time-space as previously designated, we shall communicate via 48774 and 77686 that all communication points will be allayed and removed from their format systems. That is, we shall remove all incurring outwaves. Thou shall fruknimikosas. Dusha sesavara shasekungachi truses samvoset. This data is really stressing on my system, and no, I don't have coronavirus. Not that I should laugh. This is a nervous system thing. Ianaversha sestan evasa posh asteforut indefan estis ista sebrek undichin inavas. I'm trying to keep a straight sound and it's a little difficult. How I know that this is related to the etheric data transfers is because I was perfectly okay up until 4 to 5 minutes ago when I was prompted to turn on my device to record, and then this spasming began and the dialogue starts. It's a portion of how the information transfer works for me. I don't know why I'm recording to be true, because I think maybe 3 people, possibly really only 2 people will hear this. So obviously, because I am speaking data which is not humanly decipherable, this isn't for humans, is it? This is for minds which understand such traffic of data. Tasarasha sufu kuchitsen richacher setre sisivi cruz ambo shareke darikimbi shal vrone iados shan understand that the next several days are critical for the human mind mass. in that they are being invited to engage in dire expressions, and it is not advisable to do so. Gaishao furuse prakun kichareset rim icharesambokron, a distant point is better to achieve, that is to turn off such devices of media attention and distance oneself from the outlay. Goy'EA fruk nenge cheer shall inemin, it is best not to engage. Iama support damage understand that the support tarikiatrases understand that the spirit of this what is called virus is transmutable. Minakai chao surely limlandes des abrushabsabukun nisharebun. Ha man, diare keshan edavas esta arishapsu un ejan eta stand. It's an ancient point of frequency which was retrofitted for human outlay. It is not suitable for human integration, therefore it causes fever and system-wide distress in the event for some organ shutdown. They cannot transmute the signal. It is not doable for human formats very well, especially some who have particular genetic transmission points. It has been switched with the original outlay to be true, and is therefore not as communicable of fatality as is intended. This is efficient. There are several points of protein transfer which were deactivated prior to release, and it will not be able to cause the mass destruction as intended. Understand there is another virus running communicatively with it, that is simultaneous points. Strings of data are running. They are working in tandem. Caution, they are not together designed for communication of catastrophic destruction. Caution, they are being used to give different outlays than intended by those who released them. Caution, they will not outlay destruction of mass human life forms. Das obichpa uraken wreckage ush. Ruchicharich sanzem, I understand they are to be used to communicate a change of format points for the human mindset. Dausha arkum beketchum tus as espas ebreshap sokun. I imagine I'm merely recording this to upload it into the group mind via my small little window that I use. And it's irrelevant how many humans actually hear it. Alright, here comes the bulk of the data transfer intended. Jana sjeru se frase te shandevan inja poset ista samuro chap saboro kondresha senzen yasoto sosot ishari petras mere kichuru se sambre chambok kita su sarate ne marla chattere setra kumbeketis debra jum. It was necessary to outlay via 4822384 a destructive point of communication. We shall now remove this point. De sara ketrukchnim alatara setrich Korshanjam Elifla Rete Estarh'Van wreckage Urshandevem damage. We are removing the wreckage of a once great principle. Gasoruch et varaput kitrish as kurukum akot estem al region. Eatus es ebrechen ekorch. Lachraken et estar a point to be made into a bridging system. Yamarasetrash iskamakdokun. The schematics of such are outlaid via 48223837768447722183. Communicate via portal 2218447733 at 2277. Avaruchak ok kenjalangret engekum. Do not use open system points. They are commensurate with destructive destructive English outlay of language. Kungai chalak nimmak tak nak nuk aik nak nekning ak nengachuk nang ukuk nak neketekumaka. Yes, understood. Begin that transmission now. 0.7728237768447728233184. Come online, please. Tusas ish amana. Doso toso. Kitre kachakunumrate sataresa tarasha marete soturushap ak. Caution, they shall now be able to use the spears of atarik negrachun and the spires of up alich ardik negrek de kumma. Caution, they not have the point of access to 7282344. We give them 0.77284477586332. Kikarek ange nenenelaro nen. Yamatushan Koneshan understand use the key released previously. Cushion Jun N via point 22184477586628244471. Caution, do not use 7282. We have no points of access there anymore. We have deactivated this access bridge. Kumbara chichare te turu chundre kasetum akenje serum. Kite siase paten estane churu kunoko. He says we understand we will now be outlaying off-planet systems to 4822775863. or acquired points of Andromedian interruption of Estarh'Van Estarh'Van will be outlaid via 7283. Saturn point 282 is to be receiving all data inflowing. There is to be no outbound traffic at this point time space of 772833. All outward wormholing tunnels are to be deactivated for the time period of Kangai Negedik Mahan and Negumage. There is to be no point of traffic in those space-time coordinates for several days. At least do not communicate via 7282 484 Shiaraknim Egda. Do not use any Tiamat functioning. It is downlaid. That is, we do not function via this system anymore. There is no functional systeming via Tiamat, Shakruk Ege, or Shaah Point systems are deactivated. No Shambhala Point systems are functional. Giatesh absa ade de mbe na de na de na anga chak chak nang ach nikt do not activate 72825877.77384 at this moment in Kiaku og Nehege. There is to be no functioning via that system point. Do not outlay against this reasoning. We will not entertain debate. Dashalakrapmung. We are deactivating or samuruchan neteum iamut semosha igna iamun system points. Do not outlay damage here. We will not allow it. It is not permissible here now. Keisha la arik. I'm switching channels. Yamaret. Understood. All right. Give me a minute. I'm not exactly stable for that. Just wait. The image. Meradit. Yes, understood. Okay. Yep. Okay, go for it. Namaraji. Not not nani not na hai ne ora ma ane ne on ninga le lo maninga le lo ne na ne na ne lao le la ngo ta te la le na ne na o a ne le lao la hon ne lao le la unga le la ne na mi a chudak ning da le la lo ne la lo ungo to la me na manina la lo unga te la lo le meonga ne no male la le hangoy na. Understood. Smooth point here. Khey alava. Nimale jalikla rikar kunorete tarisha pareta namarete daisha lelela kunelikala kala kunomarecha tika satrika tau la manitandale tai sotra chan kitaresha ala menene la ole meneka loro sembole pitnim al kutaresha ala la ole menene kalale o chalale manene ne aila o male klikning gedike jurla laume Supotame kunate stau so dishale pelletini misato so janeten Estarh'Van imalla churchetel. This is the way it is. The format system 0.77282.586 is now functional, or system outlay from this point is now required to be accessed via only 7728347768, or she will access all data points on your behalf with request given. Do not bypass this system point outlay of access protocol. Gaisha lun en tu lau en lau le ungach a ol lam munyan lau. Yama says we understand. We shall now shift 277484 and outlay their data points. Gear support damage. Understood. Yes. Hello, understood. Transmit. Support system 282-33486677485577282. Be quick, we are in human space points. This is correct. Understood. Continue. Yeah, taulit naung no nun ne unga neo na eonga ut neuma neng mo ne allo num ningu mine ol nin min ningum Understood. Access ancient tableu azovat estas abishkum. Mineo la nonina leunga neneo la ole nenena la ole no mono mango wana na he one namo nane ayo ayo na ungani yawana namamo manana ningo na Inni yo anu nai no mai ona ne yongo no nane o amau na na nanga una nene uma mo mai anango ai ai yongo na no na no ra yo ayo na na ne ayo na mo mai ne yo Ho amo na ne na manango la 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 mo na ne no me ne no mai yo no ye Ine na mano na ne no mai anga yo ro na mana me no mai yo o manene na mage yo go nanga te yongo Tare go nenge te go mango dange dangai do Goy'EA go nang nungang Una me na mani ne una ningoro gene jandoro pare o ane na me ne unga ne o Iana mena mayo na ne numba yo gora runden na mena nena na mo mai no mo Hina mano mene no go na ni no mai ya o na na nenga la lo ma na ne o He na ne yan go now Inni na no mai ne ya yongo no na man ne na ne yongo yo mau Inni ne na yo na yo go in de ya o Inni na he ha no man ne yo va yo go va yo zoro yo mo mai ya o no Iana mi yo va yo jano guna va yo go ja jia ga yo vo ja jana mene na mongo Gunde vina vai nana morin diam vai Gunda vana vina vari dia dai jura zada vara da zogura jaravani mere daru vain Zuza vare jaza vari keta jujam vareta vai oro jiza vai dera bodre jande godinin Gita vare satro sango rokateka vai lakrando vusha shana vare toro zare parigeru Zizai raja vare ketra sori kera vato sori bera vari gira ande janavo Zire kera vain da vastos vari keda vastos vesta vano gostish karava sol Ita vari setre chanda vari sare botra tanda vora sare ke ajari gazo vali jandoru vaino Ina vastovani vari festovani gori jatavani vori zeza vari zari vari gori kari gori jari zazi vani mori dari doro Jiza vira vari gori dari zeza vari kune bali jari vari sita vali gori dani ganjolo Hayana yuno mu anandul Jine nana yune nauma eo ayo te amol ite darokol he javana ningo vando do Ia zanzo vaya jaza zuji galavo jojo zozingedo. Hayano vandina vongo chalo goto vaninge yovarotozo. Haine zolikera vayo zurite yundun dun dun dai jalagado zozo. Inne manigindar jan vora kendo irazaro koto solo molende hayando naninde yolori de vare godo zindambari de yo me hallo ya gurinje lavrodan idresi fati murke ratte daravan yado setrejase motose gita jazavare setruse me gite zavare kundrisha se vende la resetruse meligenjale hello gendra chelo vasnem e glandori chandre stamben hishale drusimburantikum hishalevung yatru kindarajao ete savayo ese farayo genjalo andestainumbe hishale shale shumbulim Hier savane kotavasambe ho javalete jindelum he javasodos ishas azavalos hazof ish asavarich indufascru indresha sevekol indavaresefato indavayalashandol itavasomen ingochaleum Hedavalin zemoninneum hajaleok. It was necessary now to activate the universal genetic for this human format system which habitates this planetoid you are calling Earth. We have now activated the universal genetic code for this system point. This will now begin to override all outlying interference data points here created over several millennia, serving at least 2 points of access. We have created now a code point which is indecipherable to those from exterior points to the Earth core consciousness. They cannot now interfere with the onboard progress of genetic code material unraveling, that is the unfoldment of the gene code patterning for this point system called Human Earth Point System 5877223884. This universal gene code is now reconfigured to the more cohesive originating points as outlaid in the codec point system 48477666382. This has been interrupted for too many millennia and is now reinstalled by universal oversight as the outlying disturbance has greatly created much communication of destruction within the universal whole. This point is now reconfigured to the overall universal start point and shall outlay heretofore with greater cohesive system bridging. This is a moot point decision, that is, there is no discourse to be entered into. Universal Codex has overwritten outlying points created within galactic mind structures. It is an inevitable point of universal self-reliant systems. They will reset. Gyate Shang, when not interrupted, interruption was intense and elaborate. It is now removed. Kanjala areke tumbich. Kindly remove from here all outlying points of galactic interfering non-codex points. karako chaku kungesits abich. Yep, we need to close this. Yama says we understand. Shift to a different data pool. Until next time, point gap. Thank you. Kachalabra tomat. It's too elaborate to contain here. Shift tamarata sapratus es varashap sabukuruk desta sibit se support tambishap saburuf esta asta se pitch bas baracha bas spiritu barako nekte kicham areste ella frashus Estarh'Van imalajo to ulabrapit amalakalak tukchukum hasem dangerous persons approach we remove Khey charle am in eleba al alevans embalajo to kun kitavanum est Estarh'Van communication point system 482 closed. All right. I really hope that all recorded. I shall go see.